Hello and welcome to Shaheen Group of Institutions. Today we are going to start an important chapter, an important subject which is of CUET UG 2025 examination preparation. In this class we are going to discuss the exam preparation strategy for UG history subject. Most of you are planning to give Central University entrance examination to enroll in central universities like Jamia Millia Islamia, Banaras Hindu University, Aligarh Muslim University, and also Hyderabad Central University. Most of you are completing your 12th class and you are going to enroll in a central university. If you are planning, then you have to give the CUET UG exam, which is about to conduct in May 2025. So, if you are thinking of opting the history subject as your main subject domain, if you want to do your bachelor's in history, then this class is very important for you. In this class, we are going to discuss the exam pattern of CUET UG, which is conducted by the NTA, National Testing Agency. And this class will be an introductory class in which you will understand what is the exam pattern and how the syllabus is designed and how the exam will be conducted for CUET UG exam. So, let's discuss firstly the exam pattern. In your exam, there will be 3 sections. You have section 1. You have to opt from the section 1. So, discussing the exam pattern, you have 2 sections, section 1A and 1-2. In section 1A, you have 13 Indian languages and there will be 50 questions out of 40. You have to attempt the 40 questions. These are the Indian languages. It is a compulsory section. If you want to opt any foreign languages, then you have 20 languages options. You have to select any one language. Total questions will be 50 and you have to attempt only 40 questions. In section 2, this is subject domain. 27 subjects are offering, NTA is offering 27 subjects and you have to opt anyone. There will be 50 questions and you have to attempt only 40 out of 50. And there will be a general test. They will give you 60 questions and you have to attempt only 50 questions. You can leave the 10 questions which are from the general test. So, there will be separate class for general test and there will be separate class for your language papers. I will be dealing mainly with the subject of history and in the history section. So for history, you have to read the ancient history of India and also medieval history of India, and you will also ask the questions from modern India also. So whatever you have studied in your class 12th history NCERT book, that chapters will be covered. There is a detailed syllabus which NTA has issued. So you have to stick to the syllabus and we will covering those syllabus also. Here, if you will ask me what is the preparation strategy, there are 15 units in the syllabus mentioned and we will be taking 1 to 2 lectures per unit. Perhaps within 20 classes, we will complete the whole history. There will be provided detailed lecture with full explanations and you will also be provided comprehensive notes which are beneficial for you for revising the topics. There will be a practice set which will be provided from Shaheen Group of Institution to clear you the Central University entrance examination, and these will be based on PYQs. The covering question papers from 2022, 23 and 24. All these question papers will be discussed and also you will be fully prepared for CUET 2025. So get ready to join a central university. If you are dreaming to become a bachelor degree holder from a central university, then you have to crack the Central University entrance examination test. This is official syllabus designed by NTA. It is provided on the website of National Testing Agency. This will be the syllabus which we will cover in our upcoming classes. So the unit first, which is story of first civilization, and in this chapter we will see the Harappan archaeology. We will discuss what is archaeology and how the archaeology is a basis for knowing the history. In this chapter, we will cover the early urban centers which were situated on the bank of the river Indus, and we will see how the Indus Valley civilization was developed and how it declined with the time. We will see the Harappan civilization and different names, how the Harappan civilization was discovered, what was the process, all that things we will cover in detail. Also, we will see the archaeological reports on the major sites. We will see the major sites like Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Kalibangan, Lothal, and there are a lot of places, a lot of sites which we will discuss in our lectures. So, the archaeologists, how the historians and archaeologists use these sources to construct the history of the Harappan civilization. All these things will be discussed in our lectures. Unit 2 will be covered political and economic history, how inscriptions tells a story. You have an idea about inscriptions that Ashoka was a great person, a great ruler who inscribed many inscriptions. From Mauryan to Gupta period, there are a lot of inscriptions which we will be studying in our classes. So inscriptions and decipherment of the scripts, we will see that what is the shift in political and economic history. All that things will be covered in our lectures. So Ashokan inscriptions, also Gupta period land grant, these will be covered. Interpretation of inscriptions by historians. Okay, so all these inscriptions, how historians are using them, this you will be understanding here. And apart from this, you will see unit 3, histories using the Mahabharata. So social histories using Mahabharata. We will see the social history, what are the issues including caste, class, kingship and gender. You have also studied in class 12 NCERT, but we will covering it in a competitive perspective, how the CUET is asking questions on these topics. We will see the transmission and publication of Mahabharata, how the Mahabharata was transmitted earlier or in orally, and later it was written in epic format, in book format. We will also see from the Mahabharata illustrating how it has been used by historians, how much Mahabharata is useful as a source for history. We will covering this also. After that, in unit 4, we will see the history of Buddhism, and we will go through the Sanchi Stupa, the religious histories like Vedic religion, Jainism, Vaishnavism, Shaivism. All these things will be covered from exam point of view. And in CUET paper, Central University Entrance Text, you will see that Buddhism is greatly focused. Questions are asked repeatedly from this theme. So we will covering in detail every aspect of the Buddhist Sanchi Stupa, and also we will see the sculptures from Sanchi. Okay. Apart from this, we will also seeing the medieval society through traveler's account. In this unit, we will be learning the broad overview, that is social and cultural life. What was the social and cultural life in the eyes of traveler's account? You have heard about many travelers who came to India not for trade but for observing, for religious purposes. They came here and they wrote extensively about Indian culture and civilization. So we will be studying about those foreign accounts, and also a discussion will be done that what they travel and why they travel and what they wrote and from whom they wrote. So all these things will be covered. We will covering the Al-Biruni, Ibn Battuta and Bernier. Okay, so these are very helpful from exam point of view, and all these things have been asked in your CUET exam earlier. Also, we will see the religious histories from medieval period. From here, medieval period is starting. We will see the Bhakti and Sufi traditions. There are a lot of Sufi movements and Bhakti movements. So, we will see the outline of religious development during this period. This is medieval period. And in medieval period, two thinkings were developed. So, ideas and practices of Bhakti and Sufi saints, we will covering all these things. Bhakti Sufi compositions which have been preserved. Extract from selected Bhakti Sufi works. So, there are many questions which were asked in past about Bhakti and Sufi movements. Many Bhakti thinkers and Sufi scholars have been asked. So, we will covering all that things. Then, the Vijayanagar Empire, the new architecture which is Hampi. So we will see the buildings during the Vijayanagar period. We will see the temples, forts and irrigation facilities which have been developed in medieval period, especially in Vijayanagara Empire. So the relationship between architecture and the political system, how Hampi was found and visuals buildings of Hampi. So how the historians have analyzed and interpreted these structures, these buildings, all that things will be covered in our upcoming lectures. Apart from this, the agrarian relations which is mentioned in Aine Akbari. Aine Akbari, you are very well acquainted with the Aine Akbari. It was written by Abul Fazl. So Abul Fazl was a courtier of Akbar. Akbar was a Mughal king. We will covering all that things, the political history and the economic history, and we will see the agrarian relations which is mentioned in Aine Akbari, structure of agrarian relations in the 16th and 17th centuries, pattern change over the period, and we will also see the compilations and translations of Aine Akbari, how it is translated into other languages, ways in which historians have used text to construct the history. There are a lot of textbooks which were written during medieval period, during Akbar's rule, and also during Delhi Sultanate period. So how these texts have been used to construct, to write the history of medieval India, we will be seeing all that things in our upcoming lectures. We will also see the Mughal court reconstructing histories through chronicles. So these chronicles which were written during the kings in their courts. So we will be also discussing all that things. We will outline the political history from 15th to 17th centuries, and the Mughal court and politics will be also discussed. So all that things are mentioned in our CUET syllabus. So these are the basis of our preparation, and we will be covering one-to-one topics after another. The account of the production of court chronicles and their subsequent translation and transmission, how the accounts, how these chronicles have been transferred to other people, and how the histories are created. Akbar Nama, which is very important book. Padshah Nama, it is also an important literature of medieval period. So we will be also studying about these books, how historians have used these texts to reconstruct the political histories of India. So everything will be covered in our lectures. Be with us, and we will be discussing all that things in very clear-cut manner. Then medieval period ends here. So now we will start the modern period. From the unit number 10, colonialism, rural society, evidence from official reports. From here, your modern history starts. So we are not going to cover only ancient or medieval. We will also be covering the modern Indian history. That is very important. And in your CUET exam, in your Central University Entrance Examination, you will see that more of the questions are from modern period. So up till unit number 9, there are ancient and medieval period. The focus of the examiner is very less, and more questions are asked from from modern time period. So we will be discussing in very detail, in very systematic manner. So the unit number 10, which is colonialism and rural society, evidence from official records, we will see the life of zamindars, how the zamindars are influencing the life of common people, and how the peasants and artisans are living in 18th century. This is very important. We will also see East India Company, their revenue settlements, how they are collecting the revenue, how they are settling the different types of settlements on the basis of collecting revenue. We will also see the surveys which were done during British period, story of official records, an account of why official investigations into rural society were undertaken, and the type of reports produced. So all these records which are very beneficial to construct the history of modern period, we will be seeing all these things. We will also see the Firminger's fifth report, accounts of Francis, Buchanan, Hamilton, and Deccan Wright's report. All these reports are very, very, very much important, because these are not only telling the histories of that period, but also an important document for common people. How the life of common people was there, all that things these books have covered. We will also see that these official records tells the exact history and how these are very useful. So, covering the next topic, Unit 11, Representations of 1857 Revolt. You are very familiar that in 1857 there was a revolt. The whole Indians were started revolting against. So, Unit 11, Representations of 1857. There was a revolt in 1857 that was not a sudden revolt, but it was a culmination of different movements which were raised during the 1857. So, what were the events of 1857 and 58? The events were recorded and narrated. How and when, what were the locations where the revolt of 1857 happened, and what were the causes? All that things we will be discussing in our classes. We will see especially the focus of Lucknow, how the Begum Hazrat Mahal's role in the 1857 revolt, and the adjoining areas like Faizabad and also Kanpur, how the revolt started and how it was suppressed by the British officials. So, we will see the pictures of 1857, extracts from contemporary accounts, those accounts which were written during the 1857, we will see all that things. So, the pictures of 1857 shaped the British opinion of what had happened. So, this was very important event. From 1857 onwards, the company rule have declined and the crown overtook the rule of India. So, crown rule started in 1858. This was very important event in Indian history. So, unit number 12, Colonialism and Indian towns, town plans and municipal reports. In this chapter, in this unit, we will be discussing about the colonialism, what were the role in developing Indian towns. We will see the growth of Mumbai, Chennai, hill stations and cantonments. You will see that there are a lot of hill stations in Uttarakhand region. So in Uttarakhand region, like Mussoorie and Nainital, these are the places which were developed by the Britishers. These hill stations were resorts for the British officials. So how these towns and the municipalities have been developed, we will see the photographs and paintings, plans of cities and the reports of that time. All that things are very much useful in constructing the history of medieval India. So we are not going to only cover the NCRTs, but we will also see how NTA is asking in CUET exam, and thus we will be fully prepared for CUET UG history examination. So how the above sources can be used to reconstruct the history of towns and what these sources do not reveal. So you will see that these sources which were written during British period, they are one-sided. They are only from the point of view of the Britishers. So we will see in Indians perspective also. Our next unit, unit number 13, Mahatma Gandhi through contemporary eyes. So in modern history, the role of Mahatma Gandhi is manifolded. You cannot forget the name of Mahatma Gandhi, because he was the person who not only fought with the British in India and before India, in Africa also, but he was the personality, a person who united the Hindus and Muslims on the name of nationalism. Thus, the importance of Mahatma Gandhi is very much. Nationalist movement from 1918 to 1940s, the role of Mahatma Gandhi and how the Mahatma Gandhi is doing satyagrah from time to time and how he is forcing the Britishers to leave India, and his great contributions towards the achievement of independence. So the role of Mahatma Gandhi is very much important, and many questions have been asked in our CUET exam. So all that things we will be covering in our classes. So in last two topics are here. The 14 number, partition through oral sources. The history of the 1940s. The 1940s is very important because a lot of events have been happened during this phase. So 1940s, the starting of nationalism, the communalism and partition. Both three things are interrelated to each other. Nationalism, when the Indians started to think about a nation. They are going to fight for nation. But here communalism also started. The religious aspect of nationalism, when one sect of the religion is not willing to live with another, so the spirit of communalism developed, and the ultimately partition was happened. India was divided into two parts, Pakistan and India. This was a dark history of our Indian society, that the partition is also very dark page of our history. Due to partition, a lot of people were slaughtered, and there is a harsh history, harsh reality of partition. So we will be see the testimonies, the oral testimonies, and we will see the experience of partition by the contemporary people, and also we will see the ways in which have been analyzed and construct the history of event. So we will be discussing about the nationalism, communalism and partition, and we will see why the partition happened and what was the result of the partition. And in last unit, which is mentioned in NTA syllabus, the making of the constitution. After independence, we have a great challenge that how our country will be ruled. So we started making our own constitution that will be based on the Indian spirit, and Indian thinkers will be writing this constitution. So independence and the new nation state, India was developed. India got its independence on 15th August 1947. So making of constitution started before independence. The constitution assembly debates, we will be also seeing this, and what are the excerpts from these debates, how our constitution was developed, all that things will be covered in our lectures. So such debates reveal how they can be analyzed. All that things will be covering. So if in a nutshell, we will see that in our upcoming classes, we have 15 units in total. According to NTA, we have 15 units in total. So these 15 units will be covered in 15 to 20 lectures. I will be covering the history classes. Your history classes will be taken by me. I am a faculty of UPSC and Shaheen Degree PU College. So for history section, be confident that I will be covering all aspects. I will be analyzing the previous year question papers which have been asked, and also we will see that how NTA have used these questions to ask about the Indian history. So we will be not only covering NCRTs, but we will also see that how NTA have asked in their previous year questions. We will also see the different practice set of history, and these practice set will be based on the PYQs. So ultimately, if you are here, if you are with us, you are very much closer to get admitted in Central University entrance test. So once again, if you are planning to join any Central University like Jamia Millia Islamia, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Banaras Hindu University or Aligarh Muslim University, if you are planning to enroll in any Central University, then you have to clear Central University entrance examination, entrance test, which is going to be conducted in May 2025. If you are planning to give this exam, if you are planning to do bachelor's from a Central University, then you should attend these lectures. I will be covering the history topics. 15 units will be covered by me. So be with us and take every lectures and practice after the lectures. Just read the notes which we will be providing, and thus you will be clearing your CUET exam. Thank you so much.